Hey, welcome to the video. So if you clicked on this, you're probably looking for a new tier list for Tekken 8. Well, last time I did one of this was last year in 2025 when I was a purple rank. And let's just say that tier list didn't go down so well. I got a lot of hateful comments in my YouTube account. A lot of people displeased with where I put certain characters. But I thought, you know what, a year on, let's try to do it again. A bit more experience in Tekken 8. So I figured, why not try and do an actually proper tier list? So without further ado, let's jump in and get it started. So the big change this time around is that I'm now a Tekken Emperor. A lot of people back last year were like, I'm never going to get out purple ranks. Well, guess what? Not only got out purple ranks, I got out blue ranks too. And I got into midway of gold. So I think I'm qualified now to at least do a proper tier list for you all. So I hope you enjoy it. Our tiers this time round, I thought about a little bit differently. I changed the top one. We're making that Goddess of Destruction. Clearly for a good reason if you watched my last video. Power level over 9,000 still there, requires 0.1% of brain to play tier, poop tier, and scrub tier. So without further ado, let's get started with our first characters. So I mean, it's pretty damn obvious that the Mishima family is still poop tier. There's no change from last year. I've versed these people a lot in ranked and I can guarantee you that they are all poop tier. Every single one of them is absolutely poop tier. Scrubby players, scrubby mindset. Think there's some OP like execution character of Tekken 8. We'll have news for you guys. You guys are all poop tier. So no change from last year. Pretty much anybody that is linked to Mishima's will be in poop tier. Now you might wonder about Reina and Jun. Well, I'm sorry. Since they got that link to the Mishima family, they are not in Goddess of Destruction tier. They are all in poop tier. And I thought about this as well. I missed a couple last year. Lars Alexander, I'm pretty certain he's linked to the Mishimas. Where's Li Chaolin? Li Chaolin, also another poop tier because he was adopted by the Mishima family. Devil Jin, definitely poop tier. I would say he's probably after Jin in terms of poop tier. And I think that's all the Mishimas I can think of. Yes, okay, cool. Moving on, scrub tier. Alright, scrub tier is kind of important. Scrub tier are those characters where people play them to just absolutely get carried. But there's a bit of a difference between a scrub tier and a requires 0.1% of brain to play. The difference is that if the character's kind of hard to execute, I'm not going to put him in scrub tier, which unfortunately means that even though Harang should be for the scrub tier players, he does require a bit of execution, but once you have the execution, he really doesn't require much of your brain power to control. He's pretty much just going to throw in plus frames and cheese you. They don't really need a good defense, they just need an OP offense. And then that's pretty much the journey of a Harang player. Then we also got Fang. Fang doesn't require much brain power to play, as we said last year. And who else we got in scrub tier? A good scrub tier character that I often come across would probably be, I'm sorry to say it, but Clive. I like Clive, but Clive is like super easy to play. He's got some relatively straightforward combos. Obviously, he's got some more advanced combos, but he is kind of built as a DLC character to make the game a little easier. Lars Alexander is also a bit of a scrub tier character. And then there was one more. I would say Eddie is hard to play at a high level, but is this also the character that people choose to basically knowledge check opponents because you barely see him in rank. So I would put him in scrub tier too. Now, Goddess of Destruction, we should probably get this out of the way. Obviously, Ling Xiaoyu is the best Goddess of Destruction in the game. She's a waifu, she does AOP, she evades everything. No one can beat her as long as she keeps her evasion up, guaranteed. We got Lily, also quite an evasive character. And then pretty much every single one of these females here is going to be put up in Goddess Destruction as our top ranking things. We will get to Miari Zo soon. Miari Zo is a very important one. Nina, I'll be putting above Anna. Asuka, we're going to be putting... I would actually put Asuka like there, to be honest. Maybe even there. We'll put Asuka there. What else we got? Any other ones? Alisa, definitely high up there. Lydia, definitely high up there. And then Azucena, definitely at the bottom of the Goddess of Destruction, but Goddess of Destruction nonetheless. And that should be it. Oh, yeah, and they got all Zafina. Zafina is a unique character. I put her up above Azucena. Miari Zo actually is a new DLC character. Now, usually I put Xiaoyu at the front, but no obvious reason. But Miari Zo's got two very big reasons why she should be at the top of Goddess of Destruction. So we'll put her up the top. And then in terms of reviewing the list of order, I would say this is a pretty good ordering of Goddesses of Destruction. I would actually probably bump up these like this in terms of the customs. You can make some very good customs with these characters, but I would say in order, I would put him in this ranking. Now, power level over 9,000, clearly Jack 8. He has some insane moves. He's got a 10 frame or like 11 frame blue. I don't know. I don't play him. It's quick. I think it's 10 frames. Armor King. He's a very honest character, but you know how to play him. He's got power level over 9,000. Same for King. Homing throws. That purple stink breath that he does. Yoshimitsu, insane Oki. Power level over 9,000. Lore. Requires 0.1% of brain to play. I think the only requirement for a lore player is to work out how to make your internet worse and load up Tekken, basically. I think that's realistically all you need to learn on lore, and then you'll probably get to go to destruction pretty damn quickly. If I played lore and had bad internet, I'd probably already be a god of destruction now. But it is what it is. Paul, absolutely powerhouse. He's not a robot, but he is strong, and he knows judo as well. So we're going to put Paul, power level over 9,000. He gets you on that wall. It's a GG's for you. Leroy, ooh. Leroy is either this or that, but I'm going to put him in scrub tier because he's one of those characters people will select because no one knows the matchup. I'm sorry, Leroy mains, but you are in scrub tier. Claudio is a pretty straightforward character to play. He doesn't have a lot of moves, doesn't really require a lot of brain power. You pretty much just do your plus frame running move and then mix it up, and then that's a GG's. It's a pretty interesting character. He's like one of the few characters has a least amount of moves. Raven, you barely ever see. I don't even know where you put Raven. He shouldn't even be on the list. You don't see him that much. Is he even in Tekken 8? Sometimes I wonder if he is or isn't. From when I've seen him in ranked, I haven't thought he was particularly strong. I've always thought he was in line with these characters and people just play him just to cheese people. But he doesn't seem so easily clicky like an Eddie, for example. And I don't necessarily know if he's easy to play. He's not poop tier. I guess we're going to keep him in scrub tier. It's the only suitable place for the Raven. Scrub tier because people purely select him because people don't know the matchup. Bears are 1,000,000% power level over 9,000. In fact, bears are stronger than humans, so both bears up here. I mean, Panda is technically borderline goddess of destruction, but I'm keeping her in power level over 9,000. She's going to be representing this cohort, the only female in this category representing. But important to know that she is way stronger than any man could ever be. As a matter of fact, these guys technically are half beasts themselves, right? So unfortunately Paul goes below them. Dragunov. Now Dragunov is one of them characters that when you see him in match and someone knows how to play him, you're like, oh shoot. Oh shoot, what am I gonna do with this dude? He's quite strong. He's no goddess of destruction because he's a Russian man. He does require your brain to play him. He's not scrub tier either. You kind of need to know how to play Tekken. So I guess we're going to put him at power level of 5,000. I think he's better than Paul personally. Leo, definitely scrub tier. Leo is pretty much like Eddie. You just pick him because people don't know the matchups. Heihachi, oh my god, Heihachi, what are you doing down here? Heihachi is probably after Jin in terms of poop tier. Like Kazuya players think they're the best thing that came to Tekken. I've only ever met one Kazuya player who wasn't like that. Shout out to K. Jin's string heavy. Heihachi a little bit more honest. Heihachi's more honest than Devil Jin. Yeah, I think this is a good place for the Mishimas, or poop tier still because they're Mishima blood. But if I'm gonna rate them in terms of their poopiness, Heihachi's way more honest than these other ones here. Now, is he more honest than these ones? Jun is an absolute terror. Reina's a bit like Kazuya, but I would say she's more string heavy. This guy is definitely more poop tier than Reina. Lee Chaolan is pretty honest. I would put Heihachi after Lee Chaolan. Ooh, but he's got electric and the other one doesn't. Counter hit character. Where would he be? Is he least poopy? Who's the most obnoxious? I mean, he is got God mode, and this guy does not have God mode, so he has to be higher up in the poopy list. She's super annoying. This guy's cheesy as hell. She's cheesy as hell. He's cheesy as hell. This guy's cheesy and this guy's an absolute annoyance. Alright, Shaheen, definitely power level over 9,000. I'll put him there. We don't see a lot of him. I'd say Yoshi's got some insane Oki game, but this dude, it's hard to know because you barely see him, but when you do see him, he's strong. Steve requires 0.1% of brain to play. Steve is just all about getting people in that 50-50 mix-up and using his back one and just absolutely cheesing you, making you duck things or guess a duck. I think he's a pretty simple game plan. He's pretty evasive, but again, I would actually put him next to Harang, to be honest. I'll put him next to Harang. I could actually put Lore up. Feng I'm going to move down. I don't think Feng deserves that kind of treatment, but Feng's pretty straightforward. He's also a rare matchup. Victor mains. Victor mains. Well, 2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2. Gunshot 2-2-2-2-2-2-2. Stance flow mix-ups constantly. Looping attacks. What else can we say? Mad range. A mad low. That counter hit that launches on counter hit. That's humming. What are we going to do for Victor? Well, clearly Victor is at the top of scrub tier. Absolute top of scrub tier because of a certain someone who plays Victor. Far Kum Ram, pretty honest character, pretty straightforward, pretty strong. In terms of tier list, like legit, he's actually not like super high, but in terms of my tier list, Farkrim's gonna be power level of 9,000. That guy controls lightning, he's got kicks that can break your ribs with one shot. And this guy is strong. I would say he's probably next to Paul in terms of strength. Paul's got Judo, Judo beats Muay Thai, so we're gonna pop him there. And then obviously power level of 9,000. Brian, he is half robot. He is half robot, so where do we put him? Full robot, half robot. Best of both worlds? Best of man and robot? Or just robot? We're gonna put half and half. Half robot, half man, makes him better than the bears, not quite as good as the robot. I mean, Brian is a counter hit specialist. If you were to trade attacks with him, he'll probably hit you with a counter hit, and then you're probably not going to get a counter hit. So he can just, and he's got combos that pick you up from the ground. He's got that taunt. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got like a insane punish on an I-11 Shay back turn Kali roll that just does 1 million damage. This guy's pretty damn strong. But yeah, that's my tier list. No real. I don't. Who knows if there's massive changes from last time? I'd have to compare. But obviously, my tier lists aren't legit serious tier lists. Obviously, I put all the females at the top for a reason. But to be honest, a lot of these female characters are pretty strong. Like, they're all pretty strong. So you probably is probably right. But if I'm gonna like do this seriously now and give you guys a little bit of my insight into how I would actually do this, I figure I'll give a little bonus content of the people that lasted this long. I would probably put the order of list, if we were to go like S, A, B, C, and D. It's going to take a little bit, but Brian's going to be up there. Brian's going to be up there. Harong's going to be up there. Steve's going to be up there. Kazuya and I think Jin's underrated and Jun's underrated. Asuka's gonna be there. Elisa's gonna be up there. Miyarizo's not. She's more down there. Nina's gonna be up there. Lily, Anna, okay. Lydia, Zafina, Azucena, or Cena, depending how you say it. Paul. Yoshi's got good Oki. Alright, now we need to sort this out. Let's do the mids. I'll go into why I would put him in these different spots to begin with. But Bears, I don't know, I'm gonna put Bears like down here. You rarely see him. I don't know if they're great or not, to be honest. Every time I see him in rank, I'm like, I get cheese. We'll have to make this fair so that they all pop up on the list. So we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the top row. So that's gonna be our top 11. Okay, alright, Law, pretty good. I'm gonna put Armor King's like mad honest, to be honest. I would say he's more honest than King. King with a Xiaoyu main is not super problematic. A lot of our AOP will duck a lot of his moves unless they start adjusting. Jack 8's probably like here. Clive's not bad, to be honest. Clive's not bad. This is going to be rough down the bottom. Who's a character I'll just be like, don't bother? Out of all the characters. We might not have anyone in D, but we'll try. Heihachi's pretty good. Rain is pretty good. Zafina is pretty good, but we don't see her a lot. Okay, Miyaruzo is like mid. I would probably go like this. I feel like Xiaoyu's should be at the top of B. Xiaoyu's got a lot of counter hits, but a lot of her stuff she's got to work for and she's exposed. When she does cancels, she can get like launched. So people just like pay attention to how you're canceling. You're at a significant disadvantage. A lot of her plus frames can be ducked as well, so that's why I didn't put her like super high. Yeah, she's evasive on all that, and if someone whiffs in front of her, she'll get a launch. But like as people start whiffing less, her like power kind of decreases. Her skill is trying to make someone click when you want them to click, so I can say she can compete with the top, but she's not built like the top. Like she hasn't got a million plus frames. She hasn't got like a million damage combos. Like some of her combos are a little annoying to do. Not the hardest combos, but they got some things in them that you could drop the combo. Like there's stuff, right, that makes her not super easy to play, not super cheesy, particularly when people start blocking her good stuff and not clicking on her like frame traps. Okay, Brian's got insane damage. Nina has... you don't even know what Nina's going to do next. And she's constantly cancelling, but even when she cancels, it's not like Xiaoyu. It seems like she's still safe. And the same for Kazuya's with their Wavu mix-ups. Their Wavu mix-ups are kind of OP. This guy's built strong. He's harder to play than Steve. So we'll go with this. I feel like Jun's got mad range, mad string. She's got good tools. I just don't think people know her strength. Jin's kind of the same. Elise is incredibly broken in terms of just overall strong. There's not really an error of Elisa. Ranged, really good. Close, really good. Really good sidestep, really good backdashes without a KBD. There's so much with this character that's just amazing. She's got a move as well where she can hit you off the ground, or she can hit you onto the ground and rage art you. But because you're on the ground, the rage art will pick you up and she'll get a full damage rage art, but you're on the ground. It's like one of the few characters that has that ability. Hwarong, when they know how to play him, is absolute nightmare. More annoying than Jin. Asuka very strong. Lily very strong with a really high, like, very big sidestep. Very good sidestep, which you'll be surprised what that can avoid. It avoids so much of my Xiaoyu stuff. Stuff that shouldn't be sidesteppable just gets sidestepped by Lily, which is kind of insane. And then the Lily players play that evasive too. She seems to have pretty good counter hits, pretty good delay strings that sort of catch you off guard. There's a lot there that's good, but I still think there's a bit of honesty sometimes with Lily players. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to get absolute cheesed. I feel like I have a chance, but all of a sudden you do a move and it whiffs and then they launch you. It's like that kind of situation. Anna, I put up there because she's good, but I feel like the way I see a lot of Anna players play her, you can kind of like duck strings and launch them. They tend to stay away from their like 20 frame launcher from crouching position because they're scared that someone's going to block it and launch them. So like they kind of start nerfing themselves. But I mean, you get a proper Anna with proper mix-ups and like reading what you're doing and confident with what you're able to handle, then they're going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. But I've been able to kind of deal with them today, but I'd say they're strong. Paul is definitely up here in A tier. He's slow, so I wouldn't put him in the S tier. Same for Law. He's got amazing stuff, but a lot of his strength comes from people not really understanding how to block certain things or parry certain things or duck at the right. Like a lot of his things require you to duck at certain times and stay ducking, or parry the certain string, and if you miss the parry, then you gotta like respect the like final moves and accept the mix-up. You gotta know when he goes into his stance and what that means and how you avoid that. There's a lot of things there. Usually a Law player will kill themselves if you're patient enough, but if you're trying to outclick a Law player, they always win. He's just got such quick moves. But a lot of this is no Law really well. Dragunovs are so difficult to fight. He's got so many good moves that can lock you down. I would actually say Dragunov players would demolish these two. Reina takes skill to play, she's good though. Shaheen takes skill to play, but he's good. I would put Yoshi above these two. Yoshi, as I said, he's got amazing Oki. He's tricky, he's evasive, But once he gets on the ground and you're at that wall, he's got so many different options to like relaunch you, to get the wall splat, to just hit you through your block. Like, it requires you to have reaction time and awareness and stay grounded when you should stay grounded, but also don't get too comfortable on the ground because they'll adjust. Lydia is incredibly strong. She's a bit of a knowledge check character. She's a simple game plan, but she's got enough where she can just adjust. So if people start countering what she's doing, she's got another like thing she can do that's going to counter what they do, and then she's got the advantage again. So even though she's kind of, some of her fences are fake, you come across a Lydia that's super dangerous, particularly know how to play her. I think the biggest issues of the Lydias is that you don't see enough Lydia main pilots. I reckon if I was a Lydia main from the start, and I spent as much time as I did on Shay on Lydia, I would be ripping up people. Because like, they don't know your frame traps, they don't know where like you're setting them up, like they don't even know how to get out of your basic offenses, even in gold ranks. So like, she's just incredibly strong. Like, if I fight a Lydia in gold ranks, I'm nervous. I'm nervous because you barely see him to practice against him. It's hard to find a dedicated player that knows how to play him like solid. But I actually think she is super underrated. I feel like the right person on this character that just mains Lydia is going to be a very strong player. I could even put her up here, to be honest. Like, I could creep her up, but we'll put it here for now. Is she better than Yoshi? I think Yoshi's got more tools. I think she's better than Reina. It depends. If electric beats forward 2, Reina would go above. It really depends if a Reina can beat that forward 2. That forward 2's got mad range though. I'm not sure on what would win. It'd have to be tested, but you could probably interchange them. Shaheen's pretty strong, but again, not very popular. I think he's hard to use. Sometimes he's slow. His execution's a little bit interesting. He does have a slide though. That slide's pretty OP. So he's got a lot of tools that make him strong. Fakram I wouldn't put up here. Fakram's a bit like, he's got good range, but he's a bit mid. He's nothing like too fearful, but particularly from a Shay perspective. I see this guy in rank, I'm like, cool, I can AOP almost all his moves. Just don't whiff in front of him. And wait, he's not going to whiff in front of you a lot of time because he seems to hit you from everywhere if they know their ranges. But he's nothing like these characters, you know, he's nothing like these. He hasn't got God mode like this dude, he hasn't got all this guy's insane lockdowns. But there's the important thing about his tier list is, even the worst characters can perform at the highest level. Like, you being a good pilot on your character matters. But in terms of tools available, it changes it. Like, just because you're really good at piloting that character doesn't mean that your character's got the best tools available. So you'll naturally see that you'll find certain characters being played by maybe less skilled people performing better. It's because the character's kind of designed to be set up better for like PvP, if I'm going to say it that way. Like, once you know how to play a Brian's just amazingly strong. Like, we talked about his counter hits, talked about his damage, but he's also got combos where he can like reset the combo. He could have you on the wall and he can like angle you and walk around you and then continue his combo into like the open space and extend it out. I've even seen him be able to do that and get both walls. Like, they hit you against one wall, then they turn you around and then they carry you to the other wall and get another wall combo. And then taunt mix up, GG's. Basically, it's like playing Street Fighter. You mess up 2 to 3 times, you're dead against a Brian. He's just gonna launch you and do so much damage. Claudio is meant to be strong. I don't see him enough. When I see him, he's strong, but a lot of times people play him so basic that it's kind of easy to adjust. So his one's hard to say. I would probably put him above. I'll probably put him next to Shayu. Zafina's pretty good, just not a lot of people play her. Azucina's a good poke game. If she goes into stance and people know about how to deal with stance, she's significantly less stronger. Nyari Zoe's pretty good. When she gets into blue, she has super high damage. She seems to have amazing wall carry, even on the big open maps. Like, she's really scary in blue. She's got the cancels, which is a little bit Shayu-like, but she's kind of linear. She doesn't really have like stuff that just sets her out as like she's or OP. And sometimes there's a theory, particularly with Season 3 coming, that a lot of the new DLC characters have been maybe tapered down a little bit, and the theory is that they're going to taper down the other characters to these new DLC characters. So maybe her lacklusterness is a little bit of that reasoning. But we'll see for Season 3 if she's actually lackluster or if she's just going to be like the new standard. And we might have to reassess where she is. I personally like her. I actually would put her like here, to be honest. She's got good mix-up games. She's got cancels like Xiaoyu. I don't think she's as good as Xiaoyu. She hasn't got AOP. Like, AOP is super evasive, which is a big strength, particularly when you butterfly it, which means it can like duck AOP even further. She doesn't really have that, but she definitely got some good stuff there. And relatively straightforward to use. Jack-8, when you see him, he's pretty strong. Feng, when you see him, he's pretty strong. I'd probably put Feng above Bakram. Okay, alright. King. King. He's definitely up here. King's lag. Who would I be scared of more? Probably be scared of... If we're talking about good players, a good player, probably put King above Law. Just because some of his stuff is incredibly hard to avoid, while you can avoid Law stuff. Armor King's honest, he would kind of go hand in hand with King. I actually think King's better than Armor King, personally. I played Armor King, he was pretty hard to play. I mean, he's got some cheeses though. He's got some pretty decent cheeses. He can compete. Did I think he was better than Xiaoyu? No. I didn't. Does that make his B tier? But does he have more ways to do damage than Xiaoyu? Yes. He's got good counter hits. He's got good mix-ups from neutral. It doesn't require blue. Like, him outside of blue is pretty good. Her outside of blue, not so good. Let's put him up here. We'll put him up here. I don't think he's better than these characters though. That one's going to be topical because I'm just not sure. I see King. I see King, the power he does, but then the Armor King, to me, just feels more honest than these ones. Heihachi with God mode's pretty strong. But it's conditional. Because it's conditional, I'm going to put him there. Clive. I mean, Clive's not bad. Clive and Victor kind of go hand in hand. Two fine characters. Clive's better than Xiaoyu. Clive's better than Xiaoyu. Victor's better than Xiaoyu, if played well. A lot of times you just don't see him being played well enough. But he's definitely got a good range. He's got mix-ups. He's got really good plus frames. He's got a while running that he can cancel into Phoenix stance that leaves him plus 14, so you have to take the mix-up. And one of them, I believe, like launches you or grounds you. Like OP, this guy kind of the same. Played really well. He's got some stuff there. He's got some absolute nightmare. I played against a Victor yesterday, last night. He just literally got up so close to my Xiaoyu and just locked her down. I couldn't even get into like AOP. I couldn't do anything aside from just like back one or jab him and try and take my turn when it was my turn. But absolute nightmare. And then obviously he's got the range too. So like he's going to win the range battle against the Xiaoyu. So I'll put him again above Xiaoyu. It's topical though because you don't see enough of him. The bears are slow. I'm going to put him down there. Though bears probably are pretty good. Devil Jin's. Devil Jin is actually pretty good. He's got good Oki. He's a bit of a cheese character. I don't think he's better than these characters though. I think he's more like on the same line of Xiaoyu. I would probably put him next to Xiaoyu. Do I think he's better than my character? I actually don't think he's better than my character. He's just played super risky. Like, all you have to do is worry about when are they going to do them really risky root moves and call them out. Like, I feel like they live and die by the riskiness of their moves and the timing of when they do it. And then as long as you know how to deal with not getting relaunched on Oki, and they usually do the same one, you can probably get through it. But I would still say pretty good character. I'll put him above Miyari Zo. Lars Alexander is actually good, but he's like fake good. He can cancel back and then be negative by a lot. But then if he cancels forward, he's plus. He's got like things that people need to know in order to like beat him. A lot of the times, Lars players are flowing. They're not really being unique. They're just running their flowcharts. Where to put him? Let's look at him in terms of these characters. I'd probably put him right next to Devil Jin. Is he better than Xiaoyu? Probably is. I think he's better than Xiaoyu. He's definitely got more combo damage. Is he better than these characters? I wouldn't say so. Li Chaolan's pretty strong. Oh, we're gonna get knocked out our D tier. I think that's appropriate though. I don't think there's really any D tier character, to be honest. So let's move these up here. It was gonna be hard to fill out the D tier. I was like, who would you put? The bears, just because they're at the bottom? Like, you know what I mean? I don't think that's right. Eddie. Where do you put Eddie? Eddie feels like a cheese to me. It just feels like you just don't know how to verse him. I don't know if he's particularly strong. I think it's just your reliance on people not knowing how to fight him. But at the same time, he seems to have good ways to set people up as well. Kind of like Xiaoyu, you know? Like, good setup character, it seems like. But I don't know if that's because lack of knowledge against him. Do I think he's better than these ones? No. No. Is he better than a Victor? And a Lars? I'd probably put him here. Is Clive better than Eddie? Yes. More range. Good combo damage. Good plus frames. Good heat. Eddie not so much. Victor not so much. Lars not so much. Yeah, let's go like this. Victor's got a lot of highs, this guy's got a lot of lows. I'm gonna put Lars up. This guy's got good whiff punishes, he's got a good back step, he's got a good side step. Actually would move him up. Is Lars better than Clive? I actually think he is. So I'm just thinking about how Lars players play. If he's in blues, he's a nightmare. Which, he's a nightmare, but not as much as Lars. He's got a lot of ways to make you whiff, and then he'll counter hit launch you or whatever, or punish you into a launcher. This guy's pretty OP, and he has massive strong damage if you don't keep him in check. If you start learning his knowledge checks, it gets a bit easier, but it doesn't mean his offense is obliterated from that. Or this guy here, it seems like you have a chance. He can lock you down, it's true. But a lot of his setups are highs, so you duck at the right time, he gets launched. And a lot of his flows have a high in it that you can duck. I guess all characters have that same weakness, but I don't know, I just feel like I'd be more scared of these characters before Victor, to be honest. This guy's got way more lows than this guy, and good low setups. And he can change when he wants to do the launches and stuff. I mean, these characters are strong, right? Lee's pretty strong. I would say Lee's better than Armor King. Leo's pretty OP. Raven's pretty OP. Leroy's pretty good, but not particularly good. I mean, he relies on his parry and knowledge checks. Is he better than Bears? Probably these are all equal, to be honest. Maybe it's like this. Maybe it's like this. Raven is annoying, but I don't think he's that great, to be honest. Who would I'd probably rather play these in that order. If I was picking. Maybe that order. Maybe this order. This guy is kind of strong. It's kind of like a Lydia. If I do this, does that ruin it? Yeah, it knocks it out. Okay. Is he B tier? Well, I mean, he's above. He's like there. Is he A tier? I mean, he's super linear. He's super linear, and he's super reliant on you clicking at the wrong time. You don't click at that time that he wants you to click, you're kind of fine. He's got that low, sure, that launches you. But he's avoidable. Like, you can avoid his stuff. It's not like full rush down like Lydia. It's pretty damn annoying though. I think he's better than Lars. Alright, let's check this ordering. Jackade I put up there because even though he's slow, He is super strong, does so much damage, and his lows are just like, I mean, he does lows with his hands, and it's confusing when you see it, though it is a knowledge check issue, but I just feel like he is underrated. He feels like if he gets his offense going, you can make only so many mistakes before you're dead. I would actually put him above Farkaram, but slow, which makes him weak, right? Slow makes him weak, a lot of negative frames, you know, a lot of things they're hoping that you're not aware of. Like there's stuff there that makes him weak, but his setups, particularly he's got that blue thing going on, he can set you up into that blue so easily. Yeah, this is where I put the list. Brian, super OP. Nina, really, really good. Is Jun better than Steve? I actually think Jun's better than Steve, to be honest. I think she's just underused. She's got so much more setups and range setups and heals and all kinds of stuff that I think makes her more powerful than Steve. Steve's avoidable. Steve's got very good pressure, very good wall pressure, and a lot of mix-ups, and can put you in mix-ups super quickly. But you can avoid some of them. You can avoid some of them, so it reduces how many ways they can get you into that mix-up. So you can slowly reduce their offense capabilities. Elise is pretty rough to deal with. You kind of got to stick close to her. But then when she's close with chainsaws out and she starts sidestepping you, like, she's super annoying. She's got so many good moves. That rage art pickup that she does is pretty OP. Would Kazuya beat them? I think I would put it like this. And then put him there. I mean, Asuka is one you don't see piloted at very often at a high level. Well, when I say high level, at least in the experiences I've had over the last 12 months, I don't see enough of her, but when I see her, she's pretty strong. She's got a lot of good parries, she's got really strong pressure, she's got good movesets, good strings. Like, there's stuff there that makes her super annoying. I think she's a good all-rounded character that's underrated. Lily's pretty good. Anna's pretty good. The reason why I don't put Anna next to Nina, I actually find Anna easier to fight than Nina. I find her stuff is way easier to read on the fly than Nina's is. So, like, even though a lot of people complain about her, I think she's not as bad as Nina. Which might be why Arslan Ash always goes back to his Nina, or it's just preference of the one he's used to piloting. But I don't think she's stronger than Nina. I think she's got tools that are better than Nina's, but doesn't mean she's stronger. Like, I think there's tools that she's got that are pretty good. But in terms of reading those tools, it's easier to read those tools than to read her tools. So even though this might do more damage, let's say, I just feel like if this is guaranteed damage, then she should be higher up. When I say guaranteed damage, they just do this like little Nina movement in front of you where it looks like they're going to hit you, but they don't. But if you click at the wrong time, you get like hurt. And it looks like it's your turn, so you try and take your turn, but it's like part of a setup. So it's just like how they cancel and like cancel the moves to like mix you up. You don't know if they're dashing or if they're about to do a move, they're about to do a jab, or if they're just canceling this like stance all the time. It's kind of a little bit like the Wabu mix up, but it's way harder to see. And also her movement's really good. So she can just put so many mental stacks on how she's moving around. And then her strings are annoying, right? Strings are annoying, she's got some decent plus frames. There's enough there for me to see that she's pretty good. Now, I don't know, in terms of these lists, people get like particular with the ordering of them. I'm more looking at this from just like the row. Like, probably let's just treat them as the row. I'll try and put them in order, but I don't think I can put them into like a perfect order, but I'll do my best. Strong, high damage. Pretty good when played well. Annoying as hell. I actually don't know if... I think this is more realistic. I think we should go like... Who would win, a Law or Yoshi? Law's probably going to try and do some quick move and Yoshi's going to evade him or something like that. This one here... I think that makes sense. I think this makes sense. Is Lee Chaolan better than Shaheen? Better than Lydia? Better than Law? I reckon in terms of fear of character, I'd be like, oh, I'd be scared. Not so scared. Not so scared, not so scared. It's probably looking like this. These three here are a bit hard to pick. Heihachi in God mode's OP. He doesn't really have a great low aside from Hell Sweep, but it's Hell Sweep and it's like you can't really read Hell Sweep. This guy you just don't hit when you get hit. If you block it, cool, but if it hits you, just don't hit. But if you hit, he's gonna counter hit you. He's got more tools than Reina. Reina's very string heavy, very flow heavy. She's got good moves, good basics, but like, I mean, what she's got that's good, he's got that's good, but she doesn't have God mode. I think Lee would be a better all-round character. Then in terms of your B tiers, I mean, I could probably even push Leo up a little higher and push down an Armor King. Probably push it down like that. I could argue this. But I don't know. The Leo one I'm not sure on, to be honest. The Leo one I'm not sure on. I feel like he's a knowledge check character. No different to these ones. Yeah, knowledge check, knowledge check, knowledge check, knowledge check, knowledge check, knowledge check, knowledge check. Not quite knowledge check, but some of it is. Patience check, I think that's to call him. Just not very strong. Like, she's cool, she's usable, you can play her really well. But I mean, I cancel a lot of Xiaoyu and Miarizo cancels a lot, and you can pretty much guarantee that a Miarizo is going to cancel, right? So if you just assume that, like a Xiaoyu will cancel, you get some easy launches on her if you happen to block the strings beforehand. She only gets a real cancel when she hits you with the string before the cancel. So like, based on that, I feel like she's more like knowledge check. Like, if you let her get her space, she's really OP like Xiaoyu, but if you don't let her get her space and do her movement stuff, and if she's not in blue, she's kind of not as great. She's pretty linear, but I think really cool character, really fun character to play. Xiaoyu can rip up Devil Jins, even though Devil Jin's got good range and all that stuff. If Xiaoyu's a bit patient, she can mix the hell up out of these guys. And she can handle their wake up stuff pretty well too. This guy here, pretty basic, he's strong. I don't know where to put him, to be honest. I don't know, same for Zafina. Maybe she's up here. It's hard to know, so that's why I'm putting him down here. I would assume by me not seeing him in ranked, meaning that they're not that popular. As a Chino, I mean, I see stuff that she does well, but I also see stuff that's just like not a problem. A lot of them play risky as well and they get launched for it. Maybe they play risky because she doesn't have the tools to not play like that, I don't know. She's got some oh damn moves. She doesn't really have amazing damage, she more pokes you to death. I feel like you can control him, you have a lot of time. Same for Feng, a lot of time. Jack 8, slow, right? Same for this dude, he's kind of slow. Kind of too tall. You can duck things pretty easily, particularly this girl can. I mean, if I just played a normal character, even this guy's not too bad because you just get really close to him and just lock him down. Just lock him down, don't let him run into the fence. These guys are just... they're just unknown, to be honest. But I like to think that we're seeing the characters that are popular because they're strong. Leroy, I don't see anything particularly OP about him. Like, he's got the parry. But I don't really think of any other scary move of his that I'm like, oh, that move sucks. And same for Raven. Like, yeah, he cancels into his shadow clone stuff. Like, so what? He's got some lows that are weirdly set up, but once you're familiar with what it looks like, it's not like you're like, oh, that move is unavoidable. Like, they're avoidable. It's just a lot of times you get caught by them because you haven't seen them before. Probably same for Zafina, to be honest. It's probably more like this, for all I know, but I feel like Zafina can duck highs and stuff, so she's probably up here more. The bears are slow, they're negative, they're knowledge checks. Their basic fences, I think they're strong, particularly if they're electric, they can be viable, but I don't think I'd play the bears necessarily in terms of strength over like the people above, basically. I think that's how you should look at the tier list too, like, sure, would do really well in ranked. This is not like a would do really well in ranked list though. This is like, if you're gonna pick a character and get OP at it, once everyone's OP at all the characters, would you choose other better characters? In my opinion, I just don't think the bears could compete with like this top list. I don't think they could compete with this list. If the person was exactly same skill level, I think these characters here have stronger things available to them. I'm not even sure on these two. Would there be anyone in A tier? If these two got knocked down, it would be here, and it would be one of these unknown characters that would get bumped up, like the Zafina. Maybe she's meant to be here, you know? I'm just thinking about her spider stance stuff. Like, she can be easily launched when she does her like stance transitions. If you launch her the right way. Her slows are readable. Like her like slow lows, her launching lows are readable. They're very slow and very you notice them. But problem is, if you've seen it for the first time, you're not gonna know like her putting her hands up into the sky and then trying to like grab your feet is gonna be our slot launcher, right? But once you see her a few times, you know, oh, okay, that's a launcher. Where she's like goes negative quite a few times. If you know where she's negative, she's probably easily manageable. It's just more that we don't see a lot of her. I do think she's kind of probably like the same style as Xiaoyu. Like, Xiaoyu's strength comes from how you do stuff and how you set up your opponent to make him click when you want him to click. She's probably very much the same. So she could probably get pushed up based on how good the part is. But I feel like that could be the same for all characters. But I don't see, when I've seen them, her have like amazing combo damage, counter hit damage, like counter hits. Like, I don't see plus frames. I don't see that necessarily. So I'm gonna keep her up. I'm gonna keep her there for now. But yeah, that was the legit tier list in the end for those ones. That's obviously takes way longer than the funny one. I think I'm happy with this. That's sitting there too long looking at it. That's probably my list. Now, my preference in terms of like who would be like, who has potential to win Evo, I reckon 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually think a Xiaoyu could win Evo. 5. I think a Lydia could win Evo. 6. Yoshi, 7. 8 for Dragunov. Need 2 more. Maybe Zafina, depending what she's like. I'll put her in for an unknown 9, and I'll put Shaheen up 10. Those are the ones I think could win Evo with a really good pilot. Only because her strength comes from someone clicking in. I feel like she can really set up an opponent. Obviously we know about these 3. This one's OP. Yeah, this is a guess though. I'm not sure on that one. Like, I do definitely think from a Xiaoyu perspective that I could talk to her. Xiaoyu, I feel like we don't have a pilot that's good enough to show off the full capability of Xiaoyu's. I think there are very good Xiaoyu players for sure. Like Mr. Croft, extremely good. Probably the closest we got in your Reds as well. Closest we got to like playing her at her optimal. But I still think there is way more to her with her movement and how you can do her movement in a way that leaves her potential almost limitless in a way. But to get to that unlimited, infinite improvements side of stuff, it could be almost impossible. You might have to be like AI to play it. It would be great to see all these characters verse each other from an AI to an AI with like no round end, just to see what happens and just count the damage over time and see what the adjustments are. I just feel like Xiaoyu's just gonna avoid stuff, but then if someone's reading when she's avoiding, can they get her? That's the question. Can Xiaoyu out-evade someone that knows she's gonna evade? If they know she's gonna evade and they can hit her, then she's not as strong. But she's got a lot of ways to like confuse an opponent and duck through things and cancel and not be negative, not be super negative where she can still get the advantage, so there's potential. Or is the winner gonna be a character that's really strong plus frames and can just constantly take their turns and that kind of thing? Usually that would probably be the one that's the OP one. Anyway, that is my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I don't know, it's hard doing tier lists. Like this one I just based on subjective, my opinion obviously, and my experiences in ranked. But I think from what I can see in ranked, this is probably a good representation of what I put characters in. I didn't talk much about Haram, but he's pretty obvious. Like he's hard to play, but once you learn how to play him, he just can loop his offense, and it's really hard to avoid it, to be honest, particularly if he's got you at a wall. He's got so many tools where he can just counter your counter and then you're back into his mix-up stuff. So like that's why I put him high. Jin's same, he's just string heavy. He's got really good strings that you can't read very well. Like you can't react to him. You just gotta feel that he's gonna do it. And if you get into the grounds of feeling that they're gonna do something, then they're probably a pretty strong character. The stuff that is actually avoidable makes a character weaker. So the more things that are avoidable with good reaction time, that's going to bump the character down the list. But once those characters start getting OP things that are a little hard to avoid, that's what boosts them up. So that's why certain characters you'll see do well, is what I've noticed. But anyway, if you like the video, feel free to hit like. I'll try and do another one next year. We'll see what rank I am. I don't know if I do funny at the start or not. I kind of would probably keep to the theme of it because it'll get those trolls out of the video. But anyway, if you stuck to the end, I appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, all. Bye bye. Take care.